Number 11. You spend about a third of your life sleeping, so you'd hope that you'd be catching those Z's on a toxic-free surface, right?
It turns out with many mattresses, you always wake up on the wrong side of the bed. And that's because some mattresses release volatile organic compounds, also known as VOCs.
These are chemicals which can evaporate at ordinary room temperature because of a very low boiling point. They become air pollutants, which aren't actually toxic, but may impact long-term health and have even been linked to organ damage and cancer. The degree of VOC damage is often influenced by the level and period of exposure.
According to the Environmental Working Group, one of the key issues with mattresses lies, boom, with the commonly used polyurethane foam and flame retardant chemicals, which have both been connected to hormone disruption and certain types of cancer.
It turns out that a regular old mattress can be a real hot bed of dangerous substances. It's particularly harmful for infants and children as they can sleep up to 14 hours per day. Moreover, their bodies are still developing, so their natural defense systems are somewhat ill-equipped to handle environmental toxins. Number 10.
We all know that lighting a candle can elevate the mood when it's adult happy fun time in the bedroom, but is it worth jeopardizing your health?
Many people don't realize, but scented candles can be very harmful to your health.
This one is a real bummer. I love firing up a pumpkin spice scented candle and enjoying a nice bubble bath sesh as much as the next guy. But
according to Jane McElroy, a community medicine professor at the University of Missouri, quote, several toxic chemicals and airborne particles from scented candles have been linked to adverse health effects, such as respiratory issues, migraine headaches, and contact dermatitis, end quote. This is because the smoke and particles that scented candles release while burning can be toxic.
Toxicity is enough reason to avoid them, but it's also good to know that candles are a leading source of residential fires in the US. Might be best to opt for some dimmable light bulbs instead.
Number 9. The late afternoon is known to US poison control workers as the arsenic hour.
That's when cases start coming in of children who've been exposed to powders, perfumes, polishes, and other cosmetics found in their parents' bedroom.
According to Johns Hopkins Medicine, parents tend to pay less attention to their children between 4 p.m. and 10 p.m.
Children are naturally curious and dumb and won't hesitate to sample chemical-based products like the bedroom is their own Baskin and Robbins.
It's really no secret that some of these personal care products can be harmful. However, it's possible that some parents aren't fully aware of the negative effects they can have on their children. In fact, in 2017, personal care products were the #1 reason for calls to poison control centers. Number 8.
If your bedroom walls could talk, they'd say, hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband because we're poisoning everyone up in here.
Children exposed to paint fumes have higher rates of allergies, eczema, and asthma. A 2019 study also found that women exposed to common paint chemicals in the workplace were at risk of having children with autism spectrum disorder. That's because some paint and other similar products emit those virulent VOCs.
Oh snap! I just said the word of the day, virulent. When referring to a disease or chemical, virulent means extremely severe or harmful in its effects. It comes from the same Latin root as the word virus. It can also mean bitterly hostile and full of malice. See if you can use the word in a sentence in the comments below, and let's see who can come up with the most creative phrase.
Some paint VOCs continue to be harmful even after the painting and drying periods are over.
So if your antidote to boredom is watching paint dry, you might want to pick a less dangerous activity.
Number 7. Wood in the bedroom can be a serious health risk. That's what she said.
According to the EPA, certain wood products can cause breathing problems, eye irritation, and even cancer.
That's because composite wood products are usually bound together with formaldehyde-based adhesives. In recent years, there's been tighter regulations regarding engineered wood, but some older products are still in circulation. It's usually a good idea to look for furniture with labels that indicate low levels or lack of formaldehyde. If you currently have high formaldehyde wood in your room, it's a good call to toss it.
You'll be sad to lose the wood furniture, but it's better to be alive and well, even if you are mourning wood. What?
Number 6. The concentration of some pollutants in your house can be as much as 5 times higher than what's usually found outside.
We tend to think of air pollution as something that we're safe from inside our homes, but that's really not the case. Pollution can come from the very materials that our home is made of.
Examples include mold from wooden frameworks or asbestos fibers released from building insulation.
Air pollution would be a problem in any room, but it's specifically dangerous when it's concentrated in the bedroom.
In ideal rest patterns, we spend 7 to 9 hours in the bedroom, which means if your room has air pollutants, you're spending a lot of time breathing them in. Number 5.
They look innocent enough, but mothballs secretly pack a furious chemical punch. Bam!
Mothballs are almost 100% comprised of chemical ingredients, which is what makes them effective in repelling rodents and insects.
Taking a whiff of this distinctive smell basically means taking virulent chemicals directly to the dome.
Breathing vapor from mothballs has been associated with dizziness, headaches, and skin irritation, as well as liver damage and cataract formation. You should be fine as long as you follow the proper instructions, which most of the time suggest placing mothballs in airtight containers. Number 4. Wall-to-wall carpets can become a collection pool for allergens, chemical dust, and pollutants that live in the home.
Vacuuming, or even just stepping on the carpet, can then cause dangerous particles to recirculate in the air that we breathe.
If she knew how dirty they were, there's no way Jasmine would have taken that magic carpet ride. A whole new world? I'll pass. Research suggests that carpeted floors have been linked to headaches, fatigue, and asthma, as well as various respiratory infections and irritation. These symptoms are believed to be connected to VOC emissions from adhesives, paddings, and synthetic fibers.
In order to stay on the safe side, it's best to buy a carpet with more natural and sustainable fibers. Use a vacuum with an HEPA filter, and to keep your shoes off when walking inside, you animal. What were you, raised in a barn?
Number 3.
If you're not frequently cleaning your humidifier, it can quickly turn from a friend to an enemy.
That's because over time, humidifiers can become moldy and release spores into the air, thus causing all sorts of respiratory problems. Think of it as a defensive mechanism in which a machine turns on its owner for neglecting it. To prevent the growth and release of harmful spores, the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission advises changing the water daily and cleaning the humidifier regularly. Number 2.
Air conditioners are an infamous source of dangerous bacteria and mold that can cause respiratory problems.
To make matters worse, it's almost impossible to keep them from becoming contaminated in the first place. Regular upkeep might minimize the risk, but the moist environment and constant air circulation makes ACs the perfect breeding ground for mold. It's certainly not uncommon for people living in hot areas to have AC units in their bedrooms, and nobody wants to be sucking down mold every time it gets hot outside. Number 1.
Buckle up for some real pillow talk. Pillows can harbor dust mites, mold, and other allergens in addition to emitting VOCs.
Many people leave for work in the morning and soon start daydreaming about being reunited with their pillow. Most, however, are unaware of the dangers that can lie inside, only a few centimeters from their face. Memory foam pillows have the same problems with off-gassing chemicals that mattresses do. We've discussed VOCs throughout this video and their suspected link to cancer and organ damage, and it's worth mentioning that they can also cause throat, nose, and eye irritation. In some of the worst pillows, dust mites can comprise a third of their filling, while molds can also grow inside. This gang of harmful substances can lead to serious allergic reactions and respiratory issues. And exposure time is another dangerous aspect, since many of us tend to hold on to our favorite pillow anywhere from several months to years. One potential solution is replacing synthetic pillows with natural materials. This can include wool or down filling. It may be more expensive, but you also might avoid some stinging medical bills as a byproduct of a good night's sleep.